God still speaks through visions and dreams. I want to talk to you again today about aliens. For all of you all that are interested in aliens, people often ask me, what do they look like? They look like everything, anything, all kind of creatures. If you want to know what the angelic world look like, or the alien world look like, or the world of celestial beings, or whatever you want to call them, demons, look at the animal kingdom. Okay, look at the animal kingdom. The animal kingdom were created after the celestial beings, or they were created after the angels, or they were created after the aliens. Okay, man was created after God. Man was created in the image and likeness of God, Elohim. All right, so we were created like Him. But everything else, everything produces after its own kind. Okay, when a dog reproduces, he produces a dog. Right? So it's the same with God. When God reproduced himself, he produced us. All right? So when the serpent was created, he was created after his kind. He was created after the being that's in Ezekiel 28:13. Read Ezekiel 28:13. But it talks about, I think that's Lucifer in the Garden of Eden. The serpent was created after him. Okay? The serpent was created after the dragon, or the draconians. Read Revelation 12. The draconians. The serpent was created after the draconians. Revelation 12. You heard of the draconians, right? On the videos and YouTube videos, everything you want to know about the draconians. See, the draconians, the Bible said that the dust will be their food. The dust will be their food. Read in Genesis, when the dragon race, the draconians, or the serpent race, were cursed. And God said, dust will be your food, or your meat, or dust will be your sustenance. Who were created from the dust? We were. We were created from the dust. Mankind were created from the dust. And the Bible said the dust will be the serpent's food. Okay? They want humans. They survive on humans. Humans are their sustenance. They are sustained by humans. Man, that is so clear, That is really clear. So I don't know what they're telling you on these videos. Now, another thing. The Pleiadians and the Sassanis and all them, they want to set themselves apart from the Draconians. Okay? But fact is, they don't have to. Okay, I'm going to tell you, I used to take these trips all the time to these planets in different places. One time I went to this planet, I had an escort with me. He was an elder. And I saw this man. He was in human form. He was humanoid. Just had nose, eyes, ears, mouth, fingers, just like us. But his nature was draconian. He walked like a dragon. He moved like a dragon. Okay? He had the nature of a dragon. These are aliens. These are aliens. And I thought it was funny. And I was about to laugh at him. But my spirit guide that was with me, or my elder, he said, don't laugh at him. He said, because this is how God made him. See, this is the way he is. He's dragon. And they shapeshift. They can shapeshift into human form, dragon form. They can become animals, okay, because they are one with the serpent. That's why the serpent was cursed and the draconian race was cursed at the same time. They were one. We are one. Adam was one with God. When God created Adam, Adam was God's son. He was one with God. Okay, and it's the same way it is now. Jesus Christ and El Elyon, his father, Jesus Christ's father, has adopted us, and they have made us one with them again. See, we are like them. The serpent race is like the Draconians. The serpent race is the Draconians. And there are humans now. There are those that look like humans, like the like the Pleiadians and the Sassanis and the Yaels, some of them have dragon nature. Okay, if they're not in God and of God, they are of their father, the devil. Okay, they also thrive on the lives of humans. Okay, in some way or another. Okay, humans are consumed. This is what I've seen over the 20 years that I was having these out-of-body experiences. This is what I found out. Humans are consumed in every way you can imagine. Humans are consumed in every way you can imagine. Whatever's in my eye that cause my eye to see and see clearly, there are aliens that want that. They want that out of my eye. Whatever it is, I don't know what you call it. But whatever it is in my eye that makes my eye see, they want it. They know how to extract it out and then inject it into themselves. Okay? And a lot of these beings that do this, they're just like the Pleiadians. They're just like, because see, the Pleiadians, they grow old. Their bodies wear out. The Sassanis, their body, but where are they going to get, once they begin to lose their vision, where are they going to get the ability to see again? That's why they want humans. That's why they are hanging around this planet. They're looking for people. They're looking for people that they can capture. The Bible said Satan is as a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. Okay, seeking whom he may consume. It's not always consuming with eating like we eat. Even though we do the same thing to animals, we consume their flesh, we eat them, we take their skin, we take all kind of medicine from cows and we use it for ourselves, that we remain healthy. That's all these beings do, y'all. So these videos, it tells you that it says everything you want to know about the Pleiadians, everything you want to know about the Sassani, it's a lie. They're not telling you everything. You know what? They got those aliens on that video, the illustration having them standing there smiling and looking all friendly. But that's like if I find a person somewhere in this world that have never seen a lion, don't know anything about a lion, don't know anything whatsoever, never seen one, and I draw him an illustration of a lion with a smile on his face and the eyes all big and pretty. Well, that person will probably think that's a very beautiful creature. I would like to have one of them. But he don't know anything about that creature. And if he received that creature like some people do, go out in the junk weeds and want to pet a lion, they get ate up. They just get ate up. Okay, but that's the way these beings are on these videos. Everything you want to know about alien, they have them on there looking all friendly and nice, but you don't know anything about these beings. Okay, you don't know anything about it because, for one, you won't read your Bible. Okay, you won't study your Bible. The Bible said that the dust will be the serpent's food. We were created from the dust. Dust will be the serpent or the dragon's food. We were created from the dust. The Bible describes these fallen angels, which is what they are. We call them church people call them fallen angels and demons and devils, but the world call them aliens and extraterrestrials and celestial beings. But the Bible said that Satan, these fallen angels, is like a roaring lion. He describes Satan as a lion seeking whom he may devour, consume. Okay, so these videos is talking about everything you want to know about aliens is not true. Okay, they have an appetite for humans, and it's not always consumed by the mouth like food. Some of them do that. The Draconians definitely do that. But some of them want whatever's in my arm to make my arm strong. They want that out of there. Okay, they do that. They extract the strength out of my arm and they inject it in themselves because their bodies grow old and weak. Some of them, they lose their hair. They become bald. Well, whatever's in me to grow my hair, that's what they want. They take that out of there and injected in themselves. Now, these are the things that God taught me about them over the course of 20 years. I got a book out called God Still Speak Through Visions and Dreams. In that book, I predict the St. Louis riot. I explain why the riot happens. It's because there is an alien or an extraterrestrial or what we call an angel. Okay, he resides over the United States, and his plan and his goal is to take the lives of humans. Okay, and the more lives he take, the stronger he become, because he take that strength and energy from those people that he killed in the riots that he want to get started, and it's coming. He take that energy and that strength from them, and he inject it in himself, and he have the strength of 200 or 300 men. He's very strong. So this is what this is all about, people. They consume humans in every way you can imagine. They rob us of our everything. Okay, and now I'm kind of talking about something else, but what do they look like? They look like, if you want to know what aliens look like, look at the animal kingdom, as I was saying about the serpent. The serpent was created after its kind. That is the Draconians. Okay, there are beings that look like dragons. They look humanoid with fingers, toes, eyes, just like us. But their nature is dragon. Their nature is reptilian. Okay, they have a serpent nature or a dragon nature. Okay, it's same with look at Beelzebub. Okay, Beelzebub is, the Bible said, he is the Lord of flies or the Lord of maggots. God did not create maggots. Okay, if you want to know what Beelzebub look like, he's of this nasty. I've seen some of those. The Bible called them unclean spirits. These spirits is what possess homosexuals. They're called unclean spirits. These spirits are what cause homosexuals to have oral anal sex with another man. Yuck. 1,000 times yuck. Okay, because they are unclean, they are nasty, they are filthy. They get in people, and they cause them to actually put their mouths to the buttocks of another man, or they swallow the semen of another man, because they have an unclean spirit. I've seen these spirits, and in the Bible, one of them is called Beelzebub. These spirits are so nasty looking. If you were to see one in full view, it would kill you. Now, you might think I'm making this up. I'm not. That's why God don't let us see this stuff. That's why we are not exposed to many spiritual beings. Because there are spiritual beings that if you were to see them, it would kill you. That's how nasty this Beelzebub spirit is. He's the Lord of maggots. He's the Lord of flies. And if you were to see him, it would actually kill you. There are some beings you cannot look them in their face. It would kill you. There are some aliens, if you want to call them aliens, demons, spiritual beings. It would kill you. I had, I told you once. I told you I was being pursued by a succubus, a mini succubus one time. One time I was looking at one from the back, and as I was looking at her, I heard the Lord speak to me. He said, "Don't look at her face. Do not look at her face." I had another one time she had her back turned toward me, and I said, "Let me see your face." And she said, "No, I can't do that. It'll kill you." Okay. Beelzebub is so nasty. If you will see him, it will kill you. So the maggots were created after him, like him. God did not create maggots. God did not create maggots, roaches, mosquitoes. I know we say God created everything. No, not God, El Elyon, not Jesus' Father. He didn't create that stuff. He don't have no use for maggots. Maggots is of the dead. Maggots is part of death. God is not, the Bible says God is not a God of the dead. He's a God of the living. He didn't create maggots. There are some creatures he did not create. Maggots is one of them. Beelzebub created maggots. So if you want to know what the serpents, if you want to know the aliens look like, look at the serpents or snakes or dragons. They look like their kind that were created. They were created from the Draconians. If you want to know what these unclean spirits look like, look at a pig. I've seen aliens or demons or devils. They look like pig dog mix, and they look like insects and all, unclean, nasty things. All right, that's what they look like. So if you want to know what these aliens, people always ask me, what do they look like? They look like any animal creature you can find on this planet, because the animals were created after aliens. The animals were created after angels. Okay, I'll say angels because church folks say angels. I'll say aliens because the secular world say aliens. Okay, so the animals were created after them. Okay, now if you want to now read on the serpents and draconians, read Ezekiel 28:13 and Revelation 12, and of course in the beginning Genesis 1. Well, not Genesis 1, but Genesis where it talks about the serpent being cursed. Also, and again, Beelzebub was created. The flies and maggots were created. He's the Lord of flies and maggots. Those are his babies. That's not God's babies. God don't make that nasty stuff. Okay. All right. And one time though, I saw. I don't know. I'm just gonna put this in there. But one time, I used to do a lot of travel, astral projection, astral travel and stuff. And I went to this planet where I saw these reptilians. I did not understand this when I saw it, but I saw these reptilians fighting these humans. The humans was riding horses. They had swords, but these reptilians, I don't know if that was on this planet many years ago or what. But anyway, I saw these humans. They were fighting these reptilians by a river, and a lot of the reptilians were hacked open by that sword. They were cut open and the entrails was hanging out. But their blood, I noticed their blood was not red. Their blood was orange. The inside, the inner linings and all that was orange. They had orange blood. And their blood that, mixed in with the water and everything on the ground was orange. And I was like, for years, I didn't understand that. I didn't understand these lizard-like, that's what I call them, lizard-like people fighting these humans. But somewhere in time, humans and draconians were at war, or something like that. But anyway, I thought that would be interesting to just put in there. Let me see. Another thing, I went to this. Well, let me see. Let me go on with this because I'm trying to get this done as fast as I can. The avians. Okay, again, when I saw these creatures, I didn't know what I was looking at. I didn't understand this stuff until YouTube came along. YouTube started explaining this stuff. But I used to take these trips to these different worlds or wherever they was. Most of the time, I could not tell where I was going. All I know is that I would just pop up there and I'm there. And I'm looking around at things and people and stuff. But anyway, it were these three beautiful women. They were really beautiful. But they had the nature of bird of prey. They had the nature of a bird of prey, but they would look just like ordinary women. So the birds were created after the avians. Okay? And this, you know what? This has to do, a lot of people talking about this, the earth being seeded. Yes, I do believe the earth was seeded by aliens. Yes, and hopefully I can explain that in a video. But see, the avians, I do believe they seeded this earth with birds because the birds were created after them, just like the maggots, the flies were created after Beelzebub, the snakes and the dragons was created after the Draconians. Here, these birds are created after the avians. I saw these three women. They were very beautiful. They were beautiful. I mean, these women were really beautiful. But my soul in me was terrified. My soul was reacting. My heart was beating out of rhythm. And it wasn't because I was awestruck or love struck either. It's because my breathing was erratic. My heart was erratic. My breathing was erratic. But it wasn't because I was awestruck or love struck, but I saw a bird of prey in them. And they pursue humans. Okay? They pursue humans. So the birds were created after the avians. Let me give you some scripture. If you go to there are beings, spiritual beings in the Bible that are bird-like. Okay, you go to Zechariah 5:9. Talks about a woman or women with wings of a stork. Now, another thing, people usually just say the Bible. You can't take the Bible literally. The Bible is just full of allegorical meanings. But actually, the Bible is full of allegorical meanings and symbolism. But the allegorical meanings is actually telling a truth. Okay, it's like the dragon, for instance. The dragon, if you go to the book of Revelation, it talks about a dragon. Okay, that dragon, we cannot find a dragon nowhere in this world, in this realm, in this reality. But that doesn't mean the dragon doesn't exist. The dragon is very real. They exist in other realities. And they represent something that's true. It's like if I showed you a eagle on a quarter. Well, this eagle on this quarter is not real. It's on this quarter. It's just an imprint. But that eagle exists somewhere out in the wild, right? It exists somewhere. And so this eagle represents something, somebody, somewhere. Okay, that's what these images in the Bible, that's what they mean. So this woman with the wings of a stork is real. She's real. She just exists somewhere else. But she's projecting. She's trying to illustrate something else, another story or something. Okay, now, if you read Ezekiel, the first chapter also, you find there that the living creatures, if we were to, Ezekiel first chapter, the four living creatures, if you were to read that, a person would, if you were to see them, rather, if someone were to see the four living creatures, if church people would call them angels, okay? But a person who was not a secular person or a non-spiritual person would just call them extraterrestrials. Because these beings they were creatures that had faces like an eagle and had wings, or they had a face like a man and had wings, okay? So to us, it would look like they were extraterrestrials, but the Bible called them living creatures. The reason why the Bible called them living creatures is because they had the life of God in them. But my point is, here in Ezekiel 1, you still find a being that was half bird. Okay, so God created these beings like this. The birds were created after their kind. The birds were produced after their kind, after the avians, are bird-like creatures that are in heaven, that are what we call aliens. Okay. Revelation 18:12. Read Revelation 18:12. It talks about that in Babylon. Babylon has become a cage for every unclean bird. It's not talking about. It's just read it carefully. It's not talking about the natural bird. It's talking about the spiritual, because in there also in that same paragraph, it's talking about spiritual beings along with the unclean birds. Okay, these are talking about spiritual beings, not natural beings. Just read it for yourself. Get you some different translations, and you see what I'm talking about. So the birds were created after the avians, right? Read Isaiah 34:14. The Bible mentions the satyr. I might not be pronouncing that right, but it's spelled S-A-T-Y-R. S-A-T-Y-R. Isaiah 34:14. The satyr, that's the half goat, half man creature. Okay? Half goat, half man creature. The goat was created after him. Okay? What about the bulls, the dogs? Well, if you read Psalms 22 and 12, when Jesus Christ was on the cross, he was under great, tremendous stress. How many of you know that when you're under a lot of stress, much stress, you hear things, you see things, you feel things. And people say, well, you're hearing things that's not there, you're seeing things that's not there. But no, actually, they are there. They are there. When you come under a lot of stress, you begin to see into other realms. When you become under stress, let's say if you go a long time without water, what you see, some people say you see oasis or you see water, you dream about water. Actually, you're seeing things that exist, but it's in another realm. You see what I'm saying? When you hear things, when you get sick, people get sick and stuff, and in the hospital they hear stuff. Actually, they are hearing what they're hearing is real, okay? But it's just in another reality. So when Jesus Christ got sick on the cross, not sick, but when he was suffering under so much stress, he was peering into the invisible, and he saw. Read Psalms 22:12. He saw the bulls-like creature. He saw the dog-like creature. He saw the lion-like creature. Okay, there are creatures like the bull-like creature probably come from the Taurus constellation. Okay, so the bulls were created after them. The lion-like creature, the lions were created after the Lyrians. Is that what the Lyrians or Lyrians? The lions, the felines were created after them. From the Leo constellation. Okay, and the dogs were created, the canines were created after these dog-like creatures. Okay, so the animals, if you want to know what aliens look like, angels or whatever you want to call them, they look like the animal kingdom. Okay, all the animals were created after some spiritual being or celestial being or angel or something, whatever you want to call them. Okay, so if you want to know what they look like, look at the animal kingdom, like the praying mantis. They call what they call the mantis, avian mantis, look like the praying mantis, right? The largae look like donkeys or something like that. Okay, the animal kingdom. If you want to know what the animal kingdom look at the. If you want to know what the angel, I'm getting tired. So I'm just getting tired. If you want to know what the aliens look like, they look like the animal kingdom. All right. So now I want to just share some things with y'all. I don't know. This might be interesting to y'all. It's interesting to me. One time I was, as I said, I used to take these trips and stuff, and I believe I went to the moon. Okay. And this creature I saw on the moon he looked baboon and gargoyle mix. Just like if you would mix a baboon and a gargoyle, well, if you would mix a baboon and gargoyle, that's what you would have with this creature. And he had many, many different colors, bright colors, red, orange, green, purple, just bright, really beautiful color. He was really a beautiful creature, but he just looked really, really strange, But he was from the moon. Listen, the Bible described, what is that? And I wrote that down somewhere. All the stars differ one from another. Okay? And what I mean by that is, if you go to 1 Corinthians 15, 39 through 41, it talks about the celestial bodies. Okay, you know that the stars and the angels are synonymous, right? Or the stars and the aliens, whatever star those aliens came from, you can't separate the two. They are one. Okay, just like man and earth, we are one. Okay, we were made from the earth. We are one with this planet. Okay, we are one with this planet. When you talk about earth, you're talking about man. When you're talking about man, you're talking about this earth. So that's the way it is with these stars and other planets. When you're talking about the Leo constellation, you're talking about the Lyrians. Okay, you can't separate them. That's who they are. When you're talking about the Pleiadians, you're talking about their constellation. Okay, they are one with their constellation. They are one with their world. The Bible said in 1 Corinthians 15:39, it says, one star or planet differ one from another. They all have their own glory. They all look different. Okay, so this is why you got so many different kinds of aliens. They are as different from each other as the stars are from each other. They are as different from each other as the planets are from each other. Okay, God is evident that he loves variety. Okay, because he has a lot of it. But they differ one from another. All the stars, all the planets. I went to this star one time, and I don't think this was Nibiru, but it was a red planet. I went there several times. One time I was approaching, I think this was the first time, as I was approaching the star, I thought I was going to burn up because I was approaching this star, man. I was coming at it real fast, so I closed my eyes because I was kind of scared. But when I opened my eyes, I was on the surface of the planet, and I saw creatures on the planet. Okay, I saw creatures. I saw this one creature. You remember the movie Shrek? I saw this creature look just like Shrek, except this creature was gray. He wasn't green. He was gray. And he was a little smaller than Shrek. And I saw other creatures there. I also saw the people there. The people there were hermaphrodites. They were female hermaphrodites. How do I know? I examined them closely. They were for female hermaphrodites. As far as I could see, that was all that was there. Now, it might have been some in another country there, or, or another place. I don't know. But the ones that I encountered, they were female hermaphrodites. So it's everything out there. Everything out there. If you want to know, just use your imagination. If you want to know what all... To me, some people will say, man, why would you be interested in stuff like this? Who cares about this stuff like this? Well, to me, you know what it does? It broadens my understanding more of God, of who and what God is. Sometimes we live on this planet in this world, and all we know is what this little stuff that we mess around with every day. But I like to expand my mind, man, and just kind of imagine what all is out there, man. But it is so much stuff out there that could be very harmful to us. So I wouldn't advise, don't go after this stuff, because there's a reason why God has isolated us from those spiritual beings. Most of those spiritual beings interact with each other, as far as I think. But we're not. We don't interact with these aliens and angels and all that until we die. So he's protecting us from a lot of things. There are beings you could look at will actually kill you. There are sounds they will speak. They can speak words or sounds that will kill you. Okay? This has been my experience with dealing with these beings. There are words they can speak that will cause you to lose your mind. Go loony. Okay, there are sights you can see. I went to some Gothic cities in other realms, other dimensions. I don't know where they was. But they were very Gothic. They were very Gothic. There were signs, neon signs up on buildings, and I would go to look at them. God would tell me, do not look at that sign. There are things you can see in the spirit realm that will cause you to go crazy. Okay? That's why I do not tell people, do not try to astral project. Because there are things you can see. I once run across a succubus, and I she had threatened to get me. She had threatened to take revenge on me for something I did to her. Yeah, I won't go into what, but that I did something to her. Okay, I caused her quite a bit of pain, and she threatened to get me. And one time, when I was laying in my bed, let me see, I didn't project, I didn't astral project, but I was just out of my body. You know, it's like my ears closed up, like, you know, and I got that sound like a vacuum, ears closing up, and this vibration, and then I was out of my body, and I knew I was. So I was like, okay, I gotta open my eyes and see where I'm at, because see, when I'm out of these, when I'm doing these experiences, I don't know where I'm gonna pop up at. Okay, I'm gonna write a book on that too. You know, just places I just popped up. But anyway, I popped up in this place, and I had to open my eyes. And when I opened my eyes, she was right there in front of my face. She was so hideous. Did you know, after seeing her, I had irregular heartbeat for 3 years. Okay, I had irregular heartbeat, and the only thing that I believe that kept me alive is is God would tell me, fast today, don't eat today, don't eat that, don't eat this, and that would regulate my heartbeat. But if I didn't regulate my appetite, my heart would, I don't know, I think it probably would have exploded. For 3 years, after seeing this being, this ugly woman, my heart was, I had irregular heartbeat. There are creatures we are protected from because the sight of them will kill you. The smell of them will kill you. The sound, the words they speak will kill you. Okay? So, I wouldn't advise trying to astral project. I wouldn't do that. I think it's very dangerous if you are trying to make that happen. Okay, I'll try to keep this video short, but I really enjoy talking about this stuff, and I hope you like it. But if you are interested in knowing what the spiritual world looks like, look at the animal kingdom. That's what they look like. Okay, and I like to base everything off the Bible. Now, I think we're coming into a time when people are becoming more aware of the supernatural and the spiritual. But it's going to be really important to know what side you're on. Okay? It's like everybody's becoming more aware of the spiritual realm, the spiritual world. But are you going to end up on the side with God or Satan? Okay? I don't know if y'all been noticing these magicians, the little tricks they've been doing. I am totally persuaded that these magicians, these new ones, what they are doing is very real. They have tapped into the supernatural. They are this walking on water and all this stuff they be doing, walking on water and all. If you watch it, you know, just look at it. It's very real. These guys have tapped into the supernatural. But don't be led astray with this stuff. I'm telling you, all this is a part of the great deception that Jesus Christ has warned us already about. Deception is coming. Don't fall into it. Okay, you're gonna see more and more magicians doing more and more miraculous things. But so what? Where is he gonna end up? Who's gonna be his Lord at the end? See, that magic or that power that Satan has given him for this short time is not going to keep him from hell, keep him out of hell. But anyway, I'm done. I didn't want to make this video last this long, but people always ask me, you know, what do aliens look like? And I felt like I need to go to the Bible, help you understand what they look like. They look like everything. And all that are wanting to have a sex with an alien, that is really dumb. That is really stupid, because you don't know what they are. I seen aliens shapeshift as fast as I could turn my hand. They shapeshift. And each time they are a different person. You don't know what you are waiting on to sleep with. Okay? Don't do that. That's not smart. You don't know what that is. My goodness. But anyway, hey, I'm glad you listened. I really didn't mean to take this long, but I'm glad you listened. And God still speaks through visions and dreams. Forever blessed I am, Yeshua HaMashiach. Forever bless him.